Hey, how are you? Can you hear
How
me?
are you? Yeah,
Good, good. Good start. Okay.
the audio is perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Man, I'm very nervous.
Okay. Can I just first of all say I absolutely love all of your Christmas stuff you've got behind you.
Oh,
It's
thank
super
you.
cool.
Okay,
Something completely unrelated. I like your
yeah,
background.
I love to put those a lot of colors. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it too.
Yeah.
Okay, my friend. Where are you from originally?
Originally, so I'm from the U.S. If you want to know which particular part of the U.S., I'm from Ohio. So,
Ohio.
how familiar are you with the different states of the United States? I'm not sure.
Mm,
Different people have different levels. I've had some people that are like, I know all the states. I've been to all the states. I've been to more states than you. And then I have other people that are like, I don't know where. I don't even. That's in the UK, right? Like,
yeah.
right?
I make I make a mess with the place in the United States. Sometimes I'm a teacher at Italki too, but I teach Portuguese, Brazilian
Okay.
Portuguese, and sometimes I am with a student from United States. Oh, your state, but actually it's his city. It's oh my gosh, sorry.
Yeah.
I I make a confusion sometimes. But
I'm
I'm
gonna give
studying
you.
about the United States. I have a good book here. We have a map and explain each city, each part. Very, very, very good
I'll
book
I'll
of your
I'll help
country.
you. I'll show you where I'm from. So
Oh,
uh
please. Let me.
this'll at least you could be like, oh, that one guy from Italki. Yeah,
Ah,
he was from Ohio. I remember Ohio.
good.
Here's Ohio, and I'm from Cleveland. It's gonna be in the top right corner.
Uh-huh.
That's general. I mean, I'm from the suburbs of it, but hold on one second. Let me.
Okay. You are different from the video. You are with long hair. No, it's my impression.
Yeah, no, no, yeah, I'm different. I got long hair now. It is pretty long. I've been on Italki for a while. I've been on Italki for a year. So
Mm.
the difference of 1 year is is from here to here,
Okay,
right?
okay,
That's
okay. Depends of the perspective. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, good. You sent me something. Okay. How should I pronounce your name? Gabriel? No,
So it's Gabriel. Gabriel.
Gabriel. Okay, Gabriel.
Very good.
Okay, Google Maps. Let me see. Okay. So, do you have many students from Brazil or not some common Brazilian students?
Actually, I have a few. I've got one. I've had a lot from San Paulo. That's the big one.
Ah, yeah.
Are you from San Paulo? No,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm saying San Paulo too. Where
Okay. I saw the
which
map.
which part of Brazil are you from then? I'm very familiar with San Paulo.
Yeah, I am São
That-
Paulo. Yeah, São Paulo and Rio. Yeah, people are very popular. Normally, when people talk about Brazil, it reminds us Rio or São Paulo, the biggest cities in my
Mhm.
country. But I'm from a different region, totally different region. I think in
I'm gonna. Can I give you
northeast.
pronunciation corrections? You asked for that.
Please,
Please,
please.
great. Region.
Region. Okay.
I'm gonna write it down.
I love that. Yes, please. Region. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm from Northeast. The name of my state is Ceará. Do you mind if I share something with you?
No, no, I love to see it. So you're
Yes.
by Fortaleza.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm from
I'm
North.
gonna say generally that that's a city
Yeah.
in your yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
don't know where.
good. I lived in Fortaleza for a long time
Okay.
before the pandemic moment, but after the pandemic, I went to Juazeiro. I live here. This is my state,
Uh-huh.
northeast. Fortaleza is here, see, very close to the sea, and I live here in the south now.
Ah, okay.
Okay, this is my region, northeast.
Okay.
My region, northeast in general, is very
How do we say
popular.
it? I gave you feedback on this one. My
Oh, my region. You
good.
said,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. I loved you. My
Yeah,
region. Yeah. Sometimes we have some fossilized pronunciation, wrong pronunciation. That's
yeah.
terrible.
Common.
Okay. So my region is very popular.
My
The region. Oh my gosh! Thank you.
yeah,
Region.
yeah, better good.
Region is very popular about many beaches. This word is very complicated in Portuguese.
Popular because
Po-
of. I'm gonna give
Popular
because of. Not
because
about, but because of.
oh, thank
Mm-hmm.
you.
Reason because of. Yep.
Because of the beach. Yeah, and we have.
Ah, okay, very. You got a whole thing. Wow, this
Yeah,
looks nice. You
I'm trying
prepared.
to
You know mess around.
I'm trying to convince you to visit my country. Actually,
Yeah, yeah, you can be a salesman. You sure? You sure you sure you're not a salesman? And you sure you're not talking to each other? You're a salesman.
yeah. So yeah, we have amazing beaches. Beaches. Yeah, this is a blue Lagoa Azul in Portuguese, or Buraco Azul, blue lake or blue hole, I think in English, hole. Yeah.
Okay. You could use lake too. Hole would work as well.
Lake.
Hole is
Ah,
generally context-wise, hole is like something dug, whereas a lake
yeah.
would just be area with water.
Ah, I got it now. Okay, this is Fortaleza and this is Iracema. An Indian, when the Portuguese people come,
Indian.
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 When Portuguese people came here, there is a tale that the commander, I don't know, met an Indian girl and they
Mhm.
fell in love, and a beautiful story. And we have this statue there. It's amazing. It's similar to a mermaid, but it's not. It's an Indian.
It's
Uh,
an Indian.
and
Careful here. Indian is a word, but it's a slang word, a very old one. And it's kind of like disrespectful. I wouldn't say it. I
mm,
think it. So it's kind of like it'd be like it sounds uneducated and old. Like it'd be like the cow. There are a bunch of Indians over there, right? I mean,
wow.
yeah. In
So
so it sounds old. It's a little bit like someone was explaining to me that there are two words for blacks in Portuguese. I think not as strong, I think, as in Portuguese, but it's antiquated, right? It's not as
ah,
commonly used now, and it's considered a little bit. I don't know what would be the word. Out of trying to think of the word, like
is
not
it
politically
possible to
correct.
use native? No, for Brazilian.
We would use, they say, Native American is the most common, like politically
Mm,
correct.
okay.
Native Indian, I think would be okay,
Okay.
but I don't.
Indian.
Someone might be offended by that. I don't know. Someone might be offended by Native American, for all I know. But yeah,
Great.
no, yeah, sure. But I think that Native American is for sure the most polite.
Native
And if
American.
you're talking about history, it's very common. Indians, right?
Indian. Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you very much for that formation.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let me. This is the main beach in my city in Fortaleza city. It's very
Hmm.
famous. We have some bridges. We call them like English bridge. I don't know. I have to research about the history.
Uh
English.
huh.
I don't know why English, but okay. It's a
You
good
have one thing here. You have some bridges, or many, or just one.
many.
Okay.
Actually, a couple. I think we have two or three. One unfinished.
Okay. Make
Maybe
sure
some.
you keep it in the plural then, because if
Ah,
you say
yeah.
some bridge, right, that would mean you would say a bridge, which would be one. We have a bridge that's
Ah, okay.
English style. Yep.
It's more specific, yeah. Group.
Some would be a group. Some.
Ah, okay. Great. Okay, this is the top. The top. Is this the better way to explain this picture? Top view of the city, or there is a more natural way to say that?
Let's see. This is the view from.
Overview? No.
This is a view from. I think we would say above. This.
Above.
Right. This is the view where you get
Ah,
another common thing is a bird's eye view, or
ah,
a view.
bird's eye view. Wow, I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
we'll give you that one.
Bird's eye view.
By the city. This is good. You can also use
Ah,
um,
it's a bird's eye. Ah, I appreciate that
from
expression.
above. I think would be good too.
Okay, another question I have too,
Mhm.
while you are writing,
Sure, go ahead.
is can I say idioms in the same sense of expressions? I use this expression for my students. Oh, I'm going to teach you an expression from Portuguese, or is it
In
idiom?
idiom, idiom, idiom,
Idiom,
idiom.
idiom. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay, excellent. This is a view of the city from above. Ah, right, great.
I'll said like
Ah,
idiom. Just type it in a way that it sounds. It's
said like
spelled obviously
ah,
differently, but
idiom, idiom. Yeah, it's very
okay.
funny when. Thank you very much. I love the
You're
the
welcome.
the messages. Okay, I love when I'm teaching Portuguese for American students. I have the sensation sometimes my language, when you translate from English to Portuguese, my language sounds very sexual. For example, you American guys use, for example, "Oh, I'm very excited for my first class with Gabriel. Gabriel. But you can't use the word excited in Portuguese,
Uh-huh.
excitado, because it's a kind of horny thing.
Yeah, I'm very
People will
I'm
avoid you to
right. I'm very horny this class.
very,
Good way to start.
yes,
Good way to start out, right? How are you today? Oh, I'm very horny today, right?
yeah,
Good way to
yeah.
start the class.
Yeah, and they use this sentence. It's obviously it's the first sentence. Oh, I'm very excited to start.
Okay.
So when I said to you, it sounds strange for me because I always don't
Yeah,
say
it's the
that, guys.
opposite. Yeah.
Yeah. Another one is introduce me, your friend, or introduce yourself. The verb
Present
introduce.
time. Yeah.
Yeah,
We use
introduzir.
introducir-me.
In
Yeah.
Portuguese, it's a kind of to penetrate something like that. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
very
Like,
sexual.
yeah,
Portuguese is very, very tricky. It's funny. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, my friend. So, do you live in a house or in an apartment there?
So I live in an apartment. If you go to my right out the window, I don't know if
Wow.
you probably can't see, but there's our balcony, and
Wow,
then the
very
rest
high.
is I don't want to show you over there because I have
No,
to clean
no,
still. I have
no.
to do the dishes.
Same here, same here.
uh,
Great.
so
And
I've living room I clean, but I don't
wow.
know. I did not clean the kitchen yet. I just finished cooking and I came over here to.
Ah, great. What time is it there now? In
So we're a few hours behind you, I think. So I live in Texas right now. It's 1:12 p.m.
ah, 12 p.m. Okay.
What time is it there in?
No, now it's 4:12 in
Okay,
Brazil. In my
yeah. So
yeah. Now it's the same, yeah, because we don't have different, I don't know how to say, different zones in Brazil anymore. After Bolsonaro president, he changed this
okay.
this process. We had two different zones in southeast and northeast were different. We here it would be 1 hour less, but now it's the same anywhere in Brazil. Yeah,
Yeah. So we would use time. The expression you're looking for time zones
yeah, good.
in Brazil.
There are not any time zones in Brazil. Ah,
Mm.
excellent. Okay, thank you. Well, and normally Brazilian people, I have this curiosity, but I don't know if you can answer me because I always think about how Brazilian people sounds in English. I don't know. Is can you identify any specific phoneme Brazilian do or never does? Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to think of specific ones. You guys are very similar to me. It's different than Spanish. I speak Spanish, so that's
Ah,
my
yeah.
other language.
So you.
But it's different than Spanish, but similar in a lot of ways. So a lot of the mistakes with I'm actually thinking of more grammatical things is what
Uh
tends to
huh.
give it away for me. So trouble with prepositions,
Yeah,
one
prepositions. Oh my gosh.
prepositions. Because I think there's just one preposition in Portuguese that you use in
Yeah, we
Brazil.
have only aim. Yeah, I am. You have in, on, at, it, into.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
Wow, I don't. I never
yeah.
know how to use them. I'm in line.
Uh,
I'm on line. I'm in the plane. No, but I'm on the plane. What? I'm outside of
yeah,
the plane. It makes no sense to Brazilian people,
yeah.
but it's cool.
yeah, a different way for sure. I'm trying to think accent wise if there's something that gives. I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's some sort of
Yeah.
stereotype. I can't think of something that's like a very strong stereotype for Brazilians.
Uh, I heard from some students of mine that we use a lot of vowels at the end because Facebook key. What else? Because it's the pattern of Brazilian Portuguese. We always complete the end of the word with a vowel sound. It's a
Hmm.
pattern. So we want to do that in English too. Facebook, bookie,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Messy. Yeah. Okay. And did you live or have you lived in Spain? Really?
Yeah, yeah, I did. So for 2 years, I lived in Spain. So I always enjoyed that. But yeah.
Wow.
Where are some of the places where where are some of your places that you've lived? Or I mean, you've lived in different places already. I can tell because you've been in at least two. You were in Fortaleza, and then you moved to a different part. So
Yeah.
where have you lived? Tell me a little bit about you. I have been to, like I said, I've been in Spain. I've
Yeah.
been in Ohio. I'm
Uh,
originally from there, and now I live in Texas, right?
in Texas.
I lived in two places in Spain. So where have you lived, and where's been some of your favorite places that you lived as well?
Okay, okay. I have never lived abroad Brazil, not yet. I really want to
Uh-huh.
go to New York after
Okay.
this terrible moment of virus and
Yeah,
coronavirus.
yeah.
Uh, but I lived in Fortaleza
Okay.
because I was studying there at the university, blah, blah, blah. And now I moved to Juazeiro do Norte, my original city, but I lived before Fortaleza in another state, Paraíba. It's a neighbor state, a close
Mm-hmm.
state, and I lived there in two different cities, Campina Grande and the capital, João Pessoa. It's a beach city too. I don't know if I can say beach city.
Yeah, it's a city on the beach. Yeah, beach city, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
good way to
lived
find
in
it.
four different places, I think. So yeah.
Okay. So Brazilians, I don't know if I should make a generalization. Do Brazilians like to move around? Like a lot of Americans will move around, they'll move for work, for to study. Is it pretty common in Brazil? Because like a lot of Spaniards, for example, are very like, oh, I have to move away from my home and it's terrible. I'm like, it's an adventure. Like, I don't know. What's the
Ah,
outlook on the Brazilian?
excellent question. Yeah, it depends. I feel that in Rio, in São Paulo, people are more. I don't know. They face better the situation to move. They no problem to move. But in northeast, people are like Italian, I don't know, or Portuguese. They are very close to the family. No, I can't live distant from my family, my
Yeah,
parents. Yeah, it's very common. I think it's a
close.
culture, our culture. But in Rio and São Paulo, I think they are more free. And I love that because I admire American people because you travel around the world and you conquer many things, go to many places. Because wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I think Brazilians should be in this point like American people are.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've always like I like people. I think it's good that do you have a close relationship with your family then? I think that that's another positive thing, right? Because
Yeah.
it's easier to go different places when you're not close to your family. So I think it's good if you
Yeah.
have a good relationship with your family. That's super positive. That's another thing that's super important in Spain too, right? The family,
Ah,
like I
it's
just want to be
is it
exactly the same.
similar? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. I had the reference from Italian people and Portuguese. We are very similar.
yeah, yeah.
But Spanish, I didn't know. Yeah. I have a lot of students from not specific from Spain, but Latin American. They speak
Mm.
Spanish, and mo- most of my students are from United States. Curiously, yeah,
Really
yeah,
interesting. Why do
yeah.
you think most of them are there a lot of Americans who want to go to Brazil then? That you think? As I mean, I've I've met a few people, but I can't say that I've had a lot of people who are like, yeah, my top like I'm ready to go to Brazil. That's my favorite. So I don't know. I maybe I just haven't met them. Are there? Are there a lot? You have a lot. I mean, you've got a lot of American students, right? So what?
Yeah, there are a lot of different reasons, but most of the reasons are because the guy, the man on the girl has a boyfriend or a girlfriend here, and
Ah,
oh, that's
okay.
very interesting.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
They they
Common, huh?
they really like Brazilians, and we like you, them too.
Yeah, yeah,
Actually, Brazil loves American culture. I have to say that we love the English language. If you visit Brazil, you will see that our shopping malls are 100% in English. The titles, how can I say that, plaques in front of the stores,
the signs,
the
the
signs.
signs. We're
For
trying to
example,
think of something else.
McDonald's or
Brand name
these brands.
signs.
Yeah.
Trying to think of storefronts. I think storefronts to the
Yes.
whole thing.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Storefronts, yeah. Brand names,
Brand
brands,
name. Yeah, the brand
signs.
names. Yeah, you will see that Brazilians love to use the English language. Sometimes
Uh,
wrong, sometimes right, but we always use it. We have the sensation that it's a fancy, very fancy. Em português we say muito chique. Muito chique. É uma língua
too
muito
chic.
chique, né? It's a very chic, no, fancy language. Sorry.
I think if you want to use, there's one. It's from French chic, right? That's I think it's the
Chic.
pronunciation. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
in
chic. Yeah,
Portuguese is similar. Chique.
I think it came. We must have got it from. We must have both got it from the same language, right?
Yeah.
From. Let me get the right spelling here because it's French spelling, and
In Portuguese,
yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah,
muito chique. Sorry.
yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead. I like this muito chic.
Muito chique. Yeah, it's very strong, this final E in many words. Muito chique.
Chic.
Chic. Chic. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's similar. Yeah, there are a lot of similar words in Spanish. I don't know. Uh, I never studied Spanish in my life. I feel I can understand a lot of words and sentences, 80%, I think so, what they say in Latin America, but in Spain, no, very complicated because they use a lot of the tongue, and I can't identify sometimes the words. But in Argentina, Chile, yeah, this right, Mexico,
Yeah. Yeah. For
it's
sure.
easy. It's very easy to understand what they say, but I can't speak. I can't communicate. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny,
Huh.
but they can't. It's curious because they can't understand Portuguese. It's not the
Yeah, they a lot
same.
of Spanish. Yeah, a lot of Portuguese say
Yeah,
that. I've talked to them. They're always like, and I had a
yeah,
Spanish person, and I'll be like, ah, yes, I understand everything. And then I'll go to speak to them in Portuguese, and they're like, nope, didn't understand anything. And you're like, why can I
yeah.
understand you, but you can't
Yeah,
understand
I,
me?
I didn't understand why that happens. It's impossible. It's almost the same sounds, phonemes. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I have discovered that they have less phonemes than us. For example, the V sound, they don't have V sound like English or
yeah, yeah.
Portuguese.
They don't.
Baca,
You're right.
baca, yeah, baca, something like
Yeah,
that.
they just say
Oh,
baka. Yeah, it's as if it's
yeah,
a. You could say it either way. It's like, oh yeah, it's the same. That's the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
So because of those phonemes, we have extra phonemes than they have. So it's more complicated
We
for them
have,
to
I'm gonna
understand.
give you a structure thing. We have extra phonemes, or we
Phonemes.
have, the other thing would be we have more than them. We have more phonemes than them. So either
More,
comparison or just by itself. We have,
okay, more phonemes, more than them. It's
mhm,
complicated than them. Okay.
yeah.
Very good, very good. And what was the most difficult for you when you start learning or uh, uh, yeah, studying Spanish?
Which part, right? Right. Yeah, well, that's part.
Grammar or the pronunciation or to speak or to understand your listening, you know.
I think different stages of the learning process. I had different stage problems with different things, and trying to grow with each individual part. Right now, I'm working a lot on pronunciation in Spanish. So, for example, I had my Spanish class today, and I was working on Y, the Y sound, because my goal is to get like similar to I think what your goal is to get my pronunciation to be as close to natives as possible.
Yeah.
So before I would always pronounce things as yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, which is an English Y, and your mouth kind of arcs and your tongue goes to the top. But they do not pronounce their Y's like that. So they do kind of like, and I'm gonna try that my best here. Um, yegua, yegua, ye, 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 ye. So they keep their tongue flat and they push their tongue right in between the two teeth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that, and then depending on the sound, that's how they'll get it. So that's, and their sounds a little bit different.
Ah,
So like
yo.
yo, and it's hard for me to keep my tongue flat like that. So that's what I've been working on. That takes a lot of time. So
Yeah.
that's very time consuming.
Yeah.
When I first started learning,
Oh my gosh.
I think like very beginning, the hardest part was probably grammar because no idea of grammar.
Wow.
Then I think over a long period of time, you learn the grammar rules, or maybe it was just forced because I was around it so much that it was like, okay, this is, you start understanding why it is. So
Yeah.
probably the beginning was grammar. Then there was a stage where I would just listen to the radio in Spanish like all the time. So I
Wow.
listened like all the time. So then there was like just listening to speaking. And then after a long time, you get that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Sure.
then I lived in Spain, a lot of native expressions, prepping
Yeah.
for interviews and stuff. That's tough.
Wow. Wow.
Um, and the pronunciation one's pretty hard, feels pretty hard right now. So I don't
I
know. I think
totally understand that
a lot
situation.
of,
I
to be
totally.
honest, a lot of different things, different stages of learning. So I don't know what's the most difficult for you. What do you think is
Wow.
the most hardest part in English then?
TH. TH sound.
Ah.
We don't have that phoneme in Portuguese. So
Hmm.
it's very weird for us. And you guys try to teach us. It sounds very funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's hard to control the tongue when you think. And you have two different phonemes for th, like th
Mm-hmm.
and the, that,
Mm-hmm.
those, and thought. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
man, that's almost impossible. But okay, sometimes I do right and sometimes I do wrong. I have to confess.
Sometimes you need something here.
Good.
Sometimes I do it right.
I do it
I do
right.
it. You need that it.
Yeah, we have this problem. We do not use the pronoun sometimes. We
Once again, do it wrong.
Yeah, I always forget this it because we don't have it in Portuguese, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes I do it right, and sometimes I do it wrong. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's perfect now. Yeah, that's one problem too because as I told you, we sometimes we use it in
Mm-hmm.
Portuguese, and sometimes it's not necessary to use it. I can say. Uh, Not about this object pronoun like that, but the subject. Eu
To a direct
gosto.
object, you mean like direct object pronouns with,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? The direct with it, right? You were talking about.
Yeah, sometimes we exclude or we hide. I can say, can I say hard? The pronoun. It's not explicit. It's implicit.
If we'll use omit. This is the word.
Omit. Yes. Yeah.
Omit.
Yeah. We omit. In Portuguese, it's very similar. Omit. Yeah. Omit. Omit. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, good. It's good. It's easy. What there? It's
Yeah.
something you've seen before. Good, similar.
Ah, similar. Yeah. There are a
Yeah,
lot of
maybe
similar.
not easy, but similar. I don't know if it's easy or not,
Yeah,
but
yeah. So sometimes we omit the subject pronoun, sometimes not like Italian, and I think like Spanish too, as well.
hmm.
And when we have to use the English language, that's something you have to say it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You have to. Yeah.
it's hard to remember about the reference there, but it's good. I love it. Your tip tip. Yeah.
Sure.
What's the
Tip.
difference between tip clue and when you eat in a restaurant and you want to give some money to the waiter?
So context. I have kind of so they're both spelled the exact same way. So if that makes sense, let me give you a tip about this. People will
It's the
use that
same
as a
sound,
joke. Yeah,
same
the
pronunciation.
same pronunciation.
Ah,
There's
okay,
no
okay.
difference. Same phonemes.
All right, okay.
Yep. Same
Agree.
same same word.
Same words. Okay. And oof, I'm not nervous anymore. now,
Good.
now I feel very relaxed
Okay, good.
because I have to confess, it's my first English class on Italki. Yeah, I was a teacher. I am a teacher there, but I didn't booked a class. And no, it's time to review my English. My English is not so good. It's can I say rusted like metal? No.
You can. So you can, but you have to use it like this.
In Brazil, we
It's
say
rusty.
enferrujado, rusty. Ah, okay.
We in
Rusty.
Spanish we have the same thing. Está oxidado.
Oxidado. Yeah, the same
Yes,
in Brazil.
it's
Está
yeah.
oxidado. Yeah.
So yeah,
Rusty. Great. So yeah, and I have watched a lot of videos from different teachers, and I liked yours. Very, 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 how can I say, simpático. I don't know. Sim- when the guy is funny, is cool. Is there a word for express that?
I'm trying to think. The way what you were saying reminded me of simpático in Spanish, which would be
Ah,
nice. But
nice.
I don't
Ah,
know if
yeah.
that's the right word though. I don't want to tell you put it in your mouth because
Yeah, I
that's like
think
the
so.
translation of a
Yeah,
translation.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, I
yeah.
think it's this, but
But I think it's the same. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, yeah.
nice,
He was a nice guy.
friendly,
Oh, I liked
nice.
him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
No, I liked that you were very on the ball with things. You sent me messages back. I was like, oh, he seems very on the ball. He's very prepared. He always seems to know.
Sorry. Very on the ball. Is it an
Yeah, it's a good.
item on the ball? I didn't know that. Wow.
So on the ball is when you're on time for things. You think for things in advance. You think about things in advance.
Ah.
Uh,
Okay.
time. It's like you've got your situation very well managed. It's like if I
Ah.
ask you for
Okay.
something, you're like, boom, this is it. Here you go.
Ah. Okay.
You're on the. You respond quickly. You know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I was very. Oh my God. How can I say that? Oh my gosh. He's the teacher. Am I sending the code? Oh. Uh, I'm sending the link to him. Okay, I'm not the teacher here. I mean the student. I felt like, oh my gosh, I
Did
am.
you not like that? I don't use Zoom, so for me it was like something that's outside of what I use, and I don't have a
Okay.
Zoom account.
Uh-huh. I like in the past I used a lot Skype after I start teaching on Italki. But normally Brazilian people do not use Skype. I don't know why, because Skype is very famous all over the world, but it's not so traditional here. But I started using Skype, but I knew Zoom. I knew, I
I knew
knew, I
about.
knew, I knew about. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
felt it was missing something. I knew about Zoom, and I always suggest my students to record their. It's optional, obviously, but I always suggest because I think it's important for them to review the class and to observe their pronunciation and their goal. And I don't know, positive and points that they can improve. Yeah, and they appreciate too. Yeah,
Yeah,
at
well,
the
it's
end.
good if you
Yeah,
can see it again for sure. I think it's good
yeah.
if people do that as well.
Because Portuguese, I confess, it's a very complex language, guy. Because if we compare to English, I love it. I always ask, oh God, why I'm not American or English or Australian? Because you speak a very beautiful language and a practical language too. It's hard too, but it's if you compare to Spanish or Portuguese, you know what I'm talking about conjugations. Guy, it's great when I learn, oh, I work, you work, he works.
Yeah, yeah, it's good.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it's quick.
Em português, eu trabalho, tu trabalhas, ele trabalha, and we have an extra person. Tu, it's very old fashioned now. It's like você instead of two, you in the singular for both.
Okay.
And você, ele trabalha, ela trabalha, nós trabalhamos, vós trabalhais. We don't use voice in Brazil, only in Portugal. E eles ou elas trabalham. So, wow.
Sounds
If you go
very
to,
similar to Spanish because
yeah,
you've got the same endings right in the
yeah,
present. En, trabajo,
yeah,
trabajas, trabaja, trabajáis, trabajamos y trabajan.
yeah. It's
Trabajan.
very, very similar. Only some, not words, letters change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, interesting.
My students who speak Spanish love the conjugations because it's easier for them than for German or American or English and so on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a
Wow.
system. As once you get it, I guess it helps make sense. But I'm sure there'd be.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Ah, did it?
The audio froze for 3 seconds. 3 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure. I said I'm sure there'd be a lot of things that be extra. I know it take. I'm sure it'd take a lot of time and effort to learn Portuguese. It's very
Yeah.
beautiful and complex language for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, sometimes I have the sensation that it would be very easy for me to study Spanish. But it's not exactly like that because Spanish, there are a lot of similar false friends in Spanish too. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
And sometimes when they are not false friend or false cognates,
Mhm.
uh, the similarities sometimes are not so good because we never know if you are speaking precisely the Spanish pronunciation or not. I have this sensation. I try to study Spanish sometimes, twice, but I always give up. I think it's easier for me to study a very different language, yeah, because I don't have any reference, so
Yeah.
this not me atrapalha. I don't know how to say that. Me interrompe, no. Blocks me or interrupts me. I don't know how to say the word exactly. Sorry.
I'm thinking what I want to put here is so I don't get tripped up or tricked.
Tripped out.
By something.
When something stop you or do not allow you uh, uh, get your go. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tripped out by. I should use the three words together. Tripped up.
Yep. That's a phrasal verb. So
How can
get
I
up,
pronounce trip up? Tripped up. Wow.
tripped. So it's going to be tripped.
Tripped.
Good. PT sound. Tripped up by.
Tripped up by. Okay.
Very good.
Tripped up by something. Okay. Great.
So I wanted to make sure I ask you, what are you looking for in a lesson? What are your goals? I read that you mentioned multiple things. So you said pronunciation was a big part of it. Um, you were mentioning more along that sort of thing. What what is it? So I can hear it from you and talk to you about it and get an understanding of what is it that your goals are and
Yeah. I think when I wrote to you or for you, I don't know, for
for
you,
you too.
I to you, yeah.
Mhm.
I was very excited to start. I don't know. I wrote a lot
Yeah.
of things, but
Yeah.
I think it's the first point is to improve my pronunciation to better communicate with my students from United States on Italki, and second, it's because I really want to go to New York very soon
Okay.
after the vaccines and after a period, the life
Gonna give you another one. Vaccines.
vac
Vaccines. Yeah. Vaccine.
vaccines. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
vaccines. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Yeah, I really want to know the United States. I don't know why New York. I think because the movies influences, but any place of United States. I think I would like to live for a while there, or I don't know how much time, but I think I need that because I study English. I use your language to work sometimes. Sometimes I need to use English to communicate in Portuguese. It's a bridge language for me because there are a lot of advanced students. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
American people are very good in Portuguese when they really
Really?
when they really study. Yeah, I have one student that I can't identify if he is Brazilian or American.
Really? That's
and
good.
he speaks Italian, Spanish fluently,
Wow.
Portuguese, and English as native language. Yeah, it's amazing.
That's
But
impressive.
when the students is very elementary basics, it's hard for me. I have to to use my
Yeah.
English, and sometimes it's very I block,
Yeah.
and that's the point. I would like to improve, to have conversations and to get those words you sent me. For example, I think this fills my gaps. I,
Okay. Nice use of fills your gaps, by the way. Is a good expression. You've got some native expressions up your sleeve there, so that's good.
okay.
That was good. Yeah.
And
So
why? Oh, sorry. You can
go
ask.
ahead, don't tell me. Ask me.
No, it's a teacher. I have to remember that I'm not a teacher here. I'm a student. So, and I ask a lot of questions. Sorry. Why,
No,
why, why did you decide to study Spanish? Why not Italian? Why not French? Why not to go
why not
to?
Portuguese, right?
What not Portugal?
Portuguese. Why not Portuguese? So I started learning Spanish very young. So I guess very young,
ah,
relatively young. I'm not like I have all these Chinese kids who
but
I
what
teach, and
you were a
they're start
baby.
at 6.
Yeah.
So I started when I was maybe 13, and I started in high school. And I guess I fell for there's a logical fallacy. It's the sunken cost fallacy. I don't know if you heard it right. If you've invested so much time,
Uh,
why stop now, right? so
yeah.
no, I guess when I was very little, I was like, I want to travel. I want to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And I had family who my grandparents were from Spain. And I was like, I want to go visit Spain. I
Oh,
want to visit Spain like my great grandparents where they came from, and
wow.
see the area, and see what it was like to live there. So I guess I kind of had something like that. And then in the
Yeah,
United
good.
States, I think a lot of people, there are like places that's like, oh, that'd be so cool to go there. Like, and I think Europe is that place in the United States. Maybe
Wow.
in other countries it's different. Maybe it's like, oh, it'd be so cool to go to New York, or oh, it'd be so cool to, I don't know where the place is, right? But in the US, the place was probably Europe. They're like, oh, it'd be so cool to go to London. Like that was like,
Wow.
ooh,
Yeah.
London, or
Yeah.
ooh, Europe. So I think I always wanted to go. And just the classes that were available for languages when I was little, I had the option of Spanish or Spanish. So it was
Mm,
like it
good
was like, which
options.
one do you want to learn? Like you
Yeah,
can take
Mexican
Spanish
or yeah,
or
Mexican or European Spanish. No,
no,
sorry.
no, not even that.
Yeah,
It's just Spanish class, right? That was the
Spanish or
only thing they
Spanish. Yeah.
had, right? And it was always in this usually Latin America. My teacher spoke from like as if she was from Colombia.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so no, I think that. So I that was what was available for me at that time. That was the only thing I had. Same thing even in university, right? If I wanted to take like a Japanese course, they have like
wow.
Japanese one, and then that's it. So I was like, okay, I was like, if I want to get good
Wow.
at this language, seeing how it would advance, that's part of it. So
Uh-huh.
resources I had the ability to learn Spanish, and I didn't have resources to get other languages. So
Uh-huh.
probably that. And then also I at some point, I don't know when, I was like, I'm gonna go to Spain. I'm gonna
Okay.
visit Spain. I had a little globe and I put a star on Spain. I was like, I'm going there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great, man. Great.
So no, but I mean for me it was special because it was something that was a long-term goal, and I worked really hard over a long term.
Yeah,
And
true.
I did got it. I lived in Spain for 2 years. I achieved it. So
Great.
for me, it was, I guess what I think is maybe it takes a long time, but it'll pay off in the end if you work hard on something for a long time. So
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't know.
And
That's so yeah.
another curiosity I have, uh, is it too different the accents in American Latin and in Europe? Are you able to understand all those accents from Argentina, Colombia, Paraguay, Mexico? Mexico is very close to your country, yeah?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think probably it's the most popular for Americans, or no, there is no relation about it.
Um I don't.
It's
I would
hard,
say
yeah, hard to
it's
say.
pretty popular, right? There's a lot of people go to Mexico. A lot of people go to Mexico for vacation or for
Yeah.
travel or to visit. So I would say it's the most visited Spanish speaking country for Americans because it's close.
Okay.
Um,
But
but yeah, no,
they
I
are very
yes,
different. Do you feel
no,
any?
no,
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 close.
no, no, no. I think trying to I'm trying to put this in an example, and I think
You can speak Spanish in one sentence if you want, only to demonstrate.
what do you mean?
No, no, sorry, I interrupt you. Sorry.
But like
I thought you will give me one example to compare the pronunciation, but no.
okay.
Sorry.
But I guess what I was going to say, I mean, to give you an example of something, they would say something like from Spain, they would say, it's just a lot of the same patterns. So, for
Hmm.
example, one way, if you understand the range that they have in
Okay.
Spain, there's
Hmm.
also a range in the other countries. So a lot of the same pronunciation things.
Okay.
So for example, in southern Spain, they'll drop a lot of their S's, and that's very common in the Caribbean. So they'll say things like
Ah,
um, los niños, and I lived in southern Spain, so I started picking that up, and now
ah,
I like that. I like it when people are like los niños instead
okay.
of saying los niños.
Okay,
But
got it. El
so
Niño.
there's an example, but yeah, no, it's not so different that you
Hmm.
can understand for sure. It's similar
Excellent.
to British versus American English.
Ah.
Both of them are standard dialects, and both of them are
Hmm.
very kind. Like if no one's gonna not understand a British person, you know what I mean? They're not gonna be like,
Yeah.
I have no idea what this person's saying, right? Maybe one or two words, but I mean, there are words that are slang or regional, but that happens everywhere. So
Yeah.
I think
I,
it's like American English and
great.
British English, and I think even that gets exaggerated because like a lot of times people are like, isn't American English completely different from British English? And I'm like, well, if you look at how related the languages are, they're 99% the same. If you
Yeah.
look at the percentage, they're
Yeah.
99%. There's different intonation and stuff, but the languages are so same
Yeah.
thing. That if not
Mhm.
closer between Spain and Latin America,
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
99% the same. Sure.
Wow. Yeah. I asked you because this effect doesn't happen in Portuguese from Brazil and Portuguese from Portugal.
Really?
The same language, the same dialect. We understand what they say and vice versa, but it's very hard. We have to stop and could you repeat it, please?
Really?
Because
Okay.
in Portugal, in the Portugal from Europe, they use less vowel sound than us Brazilian.
Mm.
For example, the word comfortable in English. In Português, Brazilian Português, confortável. Confortável. Em Portugal, confortável. Confortável. É
Wow.
muito confortável. Eu diria, I would say, é muito confortável. So I have the sensation, I don't know, that Brazilian Portuguese is more clear because we use consonant vowel, and
Mm-hmm.
they omit, my new word, omit
Yeah,
the
good. Good use of a
vowels.
mitt. Nice.
It's
Nice
very
use of.
complicated, even for Brazilian people. So the word brasileiro, Brazilian,
Mm-hmm.
brasileiro, they say something like a very low Brasileiro, he's Brasileiro. It's funny, guys. Yeah, they are our brothers, and we love them, but it's very different. Yeah, so different. So sometimes when I have a student, oh, I would like to practice Portuguese because I'm going to work in Portugal. It's
Yeah.
I
Find a
don't
maybe you
know.
find a
I don't
Portuguese
know.
teacher. I
Okay,
don't know.
I can give you some classes, but I don't know if I'm the perfect teacher for you because it's very different. And they
Yeah.
have a lot of different words. For example, the word, let me write. It's
How do you guys do rolling R's too? Ro.
they use this kind of R there. We use like in English H, ha, ha. They use ra
Ra,
in
ra.
Portugal.
Huh.
Yeah,
Huh.
I think it's similar to Spanish. I don't know.
Maybe it's a little different.
Yeah,
I see stuff like this and I'm like, is it the same? What's the mouth placement? Because I this is what I'm learning in Spanish where the mouth I get all nerdy about it. So
yeah, yeah. Oh,
I just like the phoneme stuff.
yeah.
The
Rapariga in
ra.
Portugal, it's girl, but
Okay.
rapariga in Brazil, it's bitch, prostitute. So
Always the Brazilians with
very
the.
sexual. Can you perceive that? Yeah,
You're
I
coming up
don't
with
know
the thing.
why. My language is so hard. Can I say that? My language is so hard. No, sexual. I don't know. Oh my God,
Sexual.
sexual.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sexual. If you're gonna
it's
use, you could use horny. I guess it sounds so horny, right?
yeah. I don't
That
know
one.
why. It's a problem to teach my language to Americans because the other problem is the nasal, the tilde, pum, because we have
Mm, mm,
nasal sounds, né?
mm,
Open, close, then nasal sounds. A, E, I, O, U.
mhm.
E, I, O, U, I.
Ah,
E, I, O, Three categories. Yeah, it's very
wait.
complicated.
You have three categories of nasal sounds, so you have
Three,
15 vowels,
yeah,
and they're
yeah,
categorized simply by different nasal residents.
yeah.
Wow,
For
that's super
example,
cool. You're
yeah,
you're
and
you're you're activating my language nerd side.
I felt that. I felt that. For
Yeah, yeah.
example, the word bread, pão. It's very complex to another tricky
Hmm.
word to teach this to an American elementary student because normally they don't have these phonemes. So normally they
Yeah.
say pau, pau, and pau. Pau in Portuguese it would be a piece of wood or a dick.
Ah, okay. I somehow
Another
saw this one
again.
coming. I saw this one coming this night.
Oh,
I was
you
like,
go to the
you're gonna.
bakery. Oh, please, I need
Uh-huh.
two
It's like,
breads.
let me
Wow,
go
no, two, no, too much. Yeah, it's very delicate. It's very, but it's funny. The Portuguese classes are funny too because of that. Yeah, normally the American students are very gentle guys and they are very, very, very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, they are not so serious. I like
Okay.
that. Okay, man. Sorry, I
No.
speak a lot.
No, I'm glad. That's good. If you, the more you speak, the better it's for you. So to give you
Yeah.
feedback. So
Yeah, great.
yeah.
And another question. In Brazil, the Christmas Day, this the Christmas period, it's very huge. It's very important for us. And but we don't have, for example, the Dia de Ação de Graças. Oh my gosh, how can I say that in English? The
Day of the
turkey you celebrate with the
Thanksgiving.
turkey. Ah, Thanksgiving. Yes, I forgot it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a national holiday. This is only in the U.S.
Okay. Okay, Thanksgiving. Yes,
with the kids
that's the
capitalized this
word.
holiday, but yeah.
Yeah. Is there? I don't know if you can say that for me, but what is the most important celebration? For example, what is the biggest? I don't know, or you can't say that because they are total they are different things completely.
I don't know if this. All right, I'll give you an answer. So, first, disclaimer. There are different important holidays for everyone, right? Because U.S. is a big country. There are lots of different people who celebrate different holidays. Some people celebrate
Yeah.
some more than the other. All right.
Uh,
Disclaimer aside, so this side, the most important holiday is Christmas.
mm,
So, for most people, I think the most important holiday is Christmas. I think,
Christmas.
right? Mostly the US is Christian-based country, so
Okay.
it's got a really strong thing. And then we're also super commercialized. So you do that and with
Yeah,
the
good.
combination and you throw it together and you get Christmas. So like, I think
Perfect.
Christmas
Yeah.
is the probably the biggest. I think it's the one that most, for example, I don't know if everyone would celebrate Easter or a lot of people celebrate Easter, but
Yeah.
maybe I don't know how intense it was. Our Christmas celebrations were always bigger than our Easter celebrations.
Okay.
uh
Yeah, in
so
Brazil,
more
it's
more
very.
festivities, people spend more money on it, they'll
Ah,
travel more. I
great.
never, we'd go, people will fly across the country for Thanksgiving or for Christmas, but not very a lot of people go across the country for example, Easter.
Okay, but
um
in the Christmas day, do you have turkey too, like Thanksgiving or no?
Stereotypical thing is ham. Different people
Ah,
have different things,
ham.
but ham, yeah, Christmas
Mm,
ham is the thing. Thing. Depending on where
okay.
people are from, though, for example,
Sure,
a
sure.
lot of Texas, some people will have tamales. Like if you've Mexican heritage, a lot of people in the South will have tamales for Christmas. Or so it depends on your region.
Yeah,
But
sure.
in like New York, Pennsylvania, I think the biggest one is ham. But other ones are acceptable, right? You could do turkey or something else too. Maybe they don't like ham that much and they'll do it, right? You see cultural variation, but yeah.
Yeah,
But
sure, sure.
stereotypically, it's a ham, right?
Yeah, yeah. In the United States, it's a continent. It's a very, very huge country. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you have Alaska too. Wow.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they do a
Wow.
crab up there. I don't. At least in Ohio, the most common is
Yeah.
a ham. But I'll give you an example.
Oh,
My
please.
girlfriend's parents, she doesn't like her father doesn't like ham. He
Hmm.
doesn't. He's trying to cut down the amount of salt he eats.
Ah,
So they
okay.
don't
Yeah.
have a ham. They do a type of. So they'll do salmon. So
Ah,
they do
salmon.
salmon for Christmas.
Salmon
So you see that it varies. But like if you were the majority, I would be ham.
would be ham. What's the pronunciation for salmon or salmon?
Salmon.
Salmon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's like Sam.
Sam.
Sam. Yeah. Low. It's
Salmon.
that short a sound.
Okay. Salmon. Okay. In
Salmon.
the past, I used to say salmon.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We don't. We're
oh,
gonna omit the L. You're right.
yeah,
Salmon.
salmon. Okay, and in Brazil, we have a lot of different accents. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, depending of the region, the accents are very, very,
The.
the region, yeah,
Yeah. There it is.
region.
Region.
Now I'm thinking about pigeon to remember region.
Yeah.
I'm using
Pigeon region. Pigeon.
the e sound because I use a. I I I
You're using.
I figure the image of the letter e in
Uh-huh.
Portuguese, and I want to transmit that. I want to pronounce that. So yeah, I have to repeat a lot.
Salmon.
Region, and depending on the region, the accent is very, very different. And there are some funny accents, like for example, in Minas Gerais, close to Rio, close to São Paulo,
Yeah, yeah.
they
I
speak
have a
very,
student
very,
who lived there, Minas
yeah,
Gerais.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. What the del oeste, or don't? What I have to look at a map to see which one. I'm pretty sure it was the west one.
do oeste, sim, yeah.
Mato Grosso. I'm sorry.
Ah,
Mato
Mato
Grosso del Sur.
Grosso, Mato
I'm
Grosso do
sorry, I was
Sul,
wrong. Mato Grosso del Sur. I thought
Mato
it
Grosso
was
do Sul.
yeah,
Uh,
okay, Minas Gerais. Okay, I also had a student from Minas Gerais, but the
yeah,
one I was thinking of was from Mato Grosso del Sur.
yeah, their accent in Minas are it is very different from the other regions of Brazil, and but it's extremely cute. Eles falam like singing. I don't know.
Okay.
It's good. I have some cousins that live there, but it's cool. But in south of Brazil, like Rio Grande do Sul, it's the most strange accent in Brazil because it's too
To look at the
heavy.
maps again.
Yeah, Rio Grande do Sul. Né?
Rio,
It's too heavy.
Rio Grande, so the south of
Yeah,
Rio Grande. Let's
the
see.
last state in Brazil, close to
Okay,
Uruguay.
we're Porto Alegre. I have a student from there too. So it's funny.
Really?
I've had students from Mato Grosso,
Really?
uh,
Oh,
del Sur,
do
Rio
Sul.
Grande del Sur. I've had lots of people from São
Ah,
Paulo.
São
So I
Paulo,
guess that'd
yeah.
be Estado de São Paulo.
Yeah.
And one student from Minas Gerais. You're the
Minas
first one
Gerais.
from Ceará.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, very good. Uh, Gabriel, I really loved your class. Thank you very much. You are a very, very kind guy. I really
Thanks.
appreciate. Thank you very much, guy. Thank you very much. Okay.
You're very welcome. It was nice to meet you, by the way.
See you very soon.
All right. It was a pleasure.
Bye bye. Have a
Bye
great day,
bye.
my friend.
You too.
Thank you.